Now for something completely different. That is something that I bet you've never seen before. This is just about the entire setup of the original MOLLE II RUCK system. I don't have the little fighting vest, and I've left out um, some of the different mag holders and stuff like that. And I took the radio pouch out. But I have this set up for a reason. I've decided this is the backpack that I'm going to carry on my hog hunting trip in February. And since I just can't stand it waiting that long, I've already started getting ready. Now last time, it wasn't last year, COVID set us out a year, but 2 years ago when I went hog hunting, I took the Tactical Tailor Malice pack, and it did a great job. But if you're familiar with the Tactical Tailor Malice pack, it's just one giant pack with a bunch of pouches and nothing comes off, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Love that pack. But I thought I would give this pack a try because frankly, I never have worn this pack for anything other than a little bit of a shakedown hike here at the house. I got out before this pack came into being. So I wanted to go ahead and put it all together and determine what parts I was going to take with me and just show you what the different things can do. And I've put pillows in everything because one thing I really hate is when somebody shows how to put together a pack system and the pack is empty and flopping around and you can't really see how the pack is supposed to work. So everything's fairly full with pillows, and I hope that'll make a little more informative and enjoyable video. So what we have here is we have the patrol pack, and I have to say that I've saw this in the official DoD video called both a patrol and an assault pack, but it's a patrol pack. There's the main ruck on the frame. There are the two sustainment pouches, and then below them is the waist pack. Over here you've got the sleeping system pack, and then down here I've got two canteen pouches or GP pouches, and then a general purpose pouch, and there's the bandolier that actually fits inside either one of the claymore pouches. And I don't know that I'm taking all of this, but what we're going to do is we're going to put it together, see how it all works together, and I'm going to use that to make my determination. Now what I've done getting ready for all this is, first of all, I put everything through the washing machine, and to do that, basically you take everything apart, and then I run these things into these mesh bags that you can buy so that I don't have straps flying around and doing crazy stuff. And that's just a better way to wash it. But I washed everything so nothing has that surplus smell to it. Everything smells nice and clean. And then last night I got out the scissors and the lighter, and I sat there while I watched Guns Navarone. Is that it? The Guns of Navarone? Yeah. And I got rid of all the Irish pennants. And if you don't know what an Irish pennant is, it's just the strings hanging off. And there's a lot of them after you wash this stuff. There's a lot of those hanging on. So you want to clean it all, turn it all inside out, clean it up real good, cut off what you can, and then the rest you want to use a lighter on. And then after that, I took some wax and I waxed all the zippers so that they will zip real well. So I've done just about everything I can do to make everything function real well. Now what we're going to do is put everything aside and tackle one article at a time, and I'm going to show you how to set it up and the different ways it can all be set up. I've watched a lot of videos out there, and frankly some of the stuff, even by active duty, is just what they kind of learned maybe in their unit. But I've gone back and watched the actual video when this stuff came out, and I learned a lot, frankly. And there's some different kind of interesting setups that you can make with this. So here's the Ruck in all its glory, the main pack on the frame. Now the original frame was black, and there were some differences to that frame. I don't have one of those, and so we're just going to make do. I would say that the most important parts are all the same. I can't tell a real difference in the suspension. I am missing these little pieces here in the green. So if anybody out there has these little pieces in green rather than sage, let me know, because I'll buy them from you, because it just hurts my heart to see that sage on there. Down at the bottom of the pack below the Claymore bag is one strip of what I'm going to call Alice webbing, and it's different from MOLLE webbing in that it's much taller. I think the actual distances between the sewing is about the same, but it's much taller webbing. And the main purpose of that, to my knowledge, is kind of a strap keeper. Now you can see the strap that holds the lid down and does the vertical suspension on the pack tends to want to go off to the side. But if you run it through one, either this one or this one of the holes of this Alice webbing, I'm going to call it that, then you keep the strap from going too far over to the side. I think that's the purpose of that, although I can't really find any documentation. There's a couple other places where it comes into play, but I think that's probably the main purpose of it. And also, you could attach some of your older Alice gear. I know there is not a dedicated place on this pack for the E-tool, and the E-tool has actually kind of straddled the Alice and the MOLLE realms, and so that would be a place that you could get an E-tool in there. I mean, it's not the greatest place, but you could do it. Of course, you could also put it up here, but that's the main thing I can see, the main reason for having that Alice type webbing there. This bandolier, the 6 magazine bandolier, fits in the Claymore bag. There's some snaps, and it snaps right in just like that. Don't know that I'm going to take this. Don't know that I need it, but it was in there, and I washed it, and I thought I'd throw it out for this demonstration. If you're one of my 5 faithful, you know how much I think of the canteen pouch, the general purpose canteen pouch. This thing will do just about anything. It'll hold 5 magazines. It'll hold a pretty good first aid kit. It'll hold night observation devices. Holds a canteen. It's just a great all-around pouch. Almost as good, because it isn't quite there, is the sustainment pouch. This thing gets very little attention, and that's because it almost made it. It's a very interesting pouch. It's very lightweight because it's formless. It's very large. I saw on one website or one video where a guy said that would hold an MRE. Hell, it'll hold more than one MRE. These things are huge. It's made so that if you take it off whatever you've got it on, you can carry it like a over the shoulder kind of thing. So it would make a great foraging pouch. Its downfall, in my opinion, is where they skimped on the MOLLE webbing. This thing was made to go in a couple places, and that's pretty much it. If they had done normal MOLLE across here, I think there would be a lot more use of this thing, because it's very lightweight and it'll hold a lot. But it was made, like I said, for specific purposes. And most people think that that only purpose is for it to go right there. And that's just not true. You see these 2 straps right here. They're part of the rucksack. And they're made to cinch up the pack and make it tighter. And a tight pack is always better. and actually feels lighter on your body. When you have the sustainment pouches on, you have the option of continuing to run that strap the way you had it and tighten up just the rucksack, but you can choose to run it through the sustainment pouches and tighten that part up. You really wouldn't start using the sustainment pouches until you've got this pack full anyway, right? So you have the option of running that cinching strap either underneath or over. That's what these holes here are for. But wait, there's more. As you saw in the teaser at the beginning of the video, you can actually carry these sustainment pouches on the patrol pack. Now it's a little quirky, and the video, the official video that tells me I can do this doesn't exactly show you, but if you look, you can see that obviously these two straps would go here and here, and this strap would go up here. The problem is over here. But what you do is you run this strap through this one here, and it kind of pulls the sustainment pouch over, and I gotta admit, it works like so. And of course, you'd have to carry, if you made the decision to do this, you'd have to carry both sustainment pouches, but you would also carry both of them if you were putting them on the main ruck. But that works. That works. And now, all that being said, you don't want to get too much weight on these straps here, because you're going to start really digging into your shoulders. But this system gives you the ability to move these sustainment pouches over here and really double the carrying capacity of this patrol pack. So we'll talk more about the patrol pack in a minute, but let's get back on the main rucksack. So we got both the sustainment pouches on. Now it's time to deal with this behemoth. And I tell you, I've got a love-hate relationship with this sleeping bag pouch. Love, because I really like the idea of a separate pouch. I don't care for the packs that have a separate compartment to the rucksack and a zipper down here. I've just never cared for those. And that's the way they went with the newer version of the MOLLE II rucksack. In the new version, this has gone away. The pack is bigger, and it's got I think it's a half circle zipper, and then it's got a pocket or a false bottom here to separate the two. And I know a lot of people like that kind of system. You see a lot of civilian backpacks that do that. A lot of military backpacks do that. I just don't care for it. But the hate comes in because I just feel like this thing is too big and kind of unwieldy. Now, it was made for the entire modular sleep system to go onto, and I think that's the problem. If you put the entire modular sleep system in there, it's got to be about that big. But maybe what they should have done is planned on half the modular sleep system to go in there, and then the other half to go in there. I just feel like it's a little too big. But let's go ahead and put it on anyway and see what we think of it. So here's the sleep system on the ruck, on the frame, cinched down pretty tight. But you see how much play there is? Yeah. Well, they've got a fix for that. And there's the fix. You take this main vertical compression strap and you run it around the sleep system portion and back up, and that cinches everything down pretty good. And there it is again. Now understand, I do not have the entire sleep system in there. Good Lord, that thing all together is supposed to go down to like 0 minus 40 degrees or something like that. I'm just going to have a sleeping bag, maybe a couple of poncho liners, which will more than fit in there. But that's how you can strap that down and cinch it up, and it makes a pretty good load. But what I like about it is I can take that off. Once I get to base camp, I unload my sleeping gear, and that pack doesn't need to see that thing again until I'm ready to go home. And that, to me, is the beauty of having a separate sleep system. All right, so that's almost all the pack. In the next video, we'll finish out the ruck, and then we'll look at the different ways that we can put all this gear together.